And as I like hip heist, I throw my arm over and just go here, and you'll come out this way. But if they have their hands locked really well, it gets a little tighter. So if they ever break that grip instantly, and if they don't break it, you can still kind of slide out if it's not super tight.
Yeah. You're going to your hips, you know, which is interesting to go to your hips to stand up. You know.
Well, so if somebody's behind you trying to suck you back, you can just scoot, and if they pressure into you, try to push you this way, you just go up like this, and then you just stand up. And if they pull you this way, you can switch.
Yeah, because I usually feel like people are pulling me backwards.
Yeah.
Right here.
And you know they're trying to fight me out, so you're just following until they don't. And if you want, you can switch hips and get them off balance. Like when we, in wrestling, our coach always taught us instead of a stand up, you go like a sit back instead of a sit out. And so you would start here, whichever side they were on, you'd pressure to them and sit back on that cheek. And then
Sit
you
back
just switch it.
instead of a sit out. I like it. It worked good. You want to show a Granby Mitch?
Yeah. So you just try and get like arm control. If you can get like right here, you're just gonna drop this left shoulder and tuck it home. And you can hold on to that arm and stay with them, or just fucking get out.
Do they usually roll with you, or do they normally?
I just fucking.
You're not worried about it?
No. Like I would usually, like if that was wrestling, I would be cool just escaping.
Yeah.
And taking it back down.
So instead of like a forward roll, it's more like a
it's like an angle. So it's like right here, and then you could sit back and hold that arm in wrestling, and you would have them like pretty much like cradled up from the back. You know, like come on back. But in jiu-jitsu, it would be like totally different. But yeah, you'd be here, boom, and if they rolled all the way around, like there's movement, you just catch them right here, and then come back around.
In the seminar, we went over this. It was like if they keep their hands locked, you end up in that position where you put up the cradle. But instead of turning like towards the head, you would just turn the other way and take them out.
I always usually turn towards the hips just because I feel like I can beat them that way. And sometimes if I turn towards the head, they're gonna use that underhook and it's kind of more of a scramble. So I usually always turn towards the hips.
I don't know, I feel like I'm always going for arms or chokes. I guess I was like, look at your head.
Yeah. What did
There's a headlock right there.
Yeah. There's some right there.
I noticed you were getting super high on his back too, and I was like, you would almost fall off, but
But you have that other arm too.
Yeah.
And they put pressure on that opposite side.
Yeah, you were doing a really good job of, controlling one arm as well.
Right. So it would be here, and then if I'm like, right, you know, and I can pull that arm to create like momentum. Just keep your head kind of pinned down.
Yeah.
And either way on that.
That's awful.
Yeah.
So in the case of our game, you know, if I got stuck here, you know, when we're rolling, I'm like, all right, well, you know, they're going to end up in mount or somewhere else, and I'll escape from there. You know, if I can't escape from turtle. Anybody else have anything that you know really worked for you, or
getting that leg over the back leg? So even like when I got like my hips up high, stepping over his leg.
Yeah.
You know, and that creates that.
Yeah.
So gives you a slight advantage.
I didn't do it, but here in the tripod, instead of just hitting like a Randy, you can get that weight. And if it's all like on your hands, you can knee slide forward and just come to a stand up. And if it's all back, you can just fight hands and stand up. That's what we were always taught to do. So like, get on my back.
Because I tripod a lot, and then I feel like I don't finish it. So like people will go like
get to the tripod
here, or
and if they have your weight into your hands, you take like a shot with your left knee, and then you slide away. If all their weight's on your hands, if it's not, you kind of have to fight hands and stand up.
Okay. And then you were saying, you know,
Like
when
if
someone's on your back, right?
If I like tripod up,
I can just stepping around.
if I can just get that, you know, then I can kind of like fight this arm, like with this pressure, which
And
could
if they
be,
stay down too, you can just step over to the other side when you're on their back, right?
You could, but this is also a sweep right here. You know, if I just tuck this right leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the not fat man, but
You know, pretty much.
like
You know,
209.
if you got in more on like the elbow, yeah. Pretty much. But I was just feel that right there. But I always had more control if I could just scoop that around and get my leg behind theirs.
Yeah.
Then they were like losing me if they felt like,
Yeah.
you know.
I really like this position because in jiu-jitsu, you know, we're taught that this is a bad position to be in turtle. But it's really dynamic, and if you can out wrestle somebody or out scramble somebody from this position, you can go from them having your back to all of a sudden you're on their back and you got hooks in.
Yeah.
You know, just like that.
I think it's just getting comfortable there.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
I think it's just.
I almost feel sneaky.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. One thing you have to watch out for in jiu-jitsu is like, you know, besides them getting the hooks in, is going to be like front headlock chokes. There we go. So when somebody has like a front headlock on me, a lot of times, just like you were doing on the back with their arms, if I can get to an arm, right, if I can hand fight and get here, I feel like I'm not going to get choked.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll go 2-on-1. So even if somebody's way stronger than me, I can just kind of unwind the choke. So I'm going to take my head out, and then I'm going to get this underhook and start coming up. And if I do have the 2-on-1 and they try and spin to my back, go ahead. And I'm just going to take them over.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get, you know, your head stuck. A lot of times you can fall to your back and kind of unwind the choke. You know what I mean? So I'd rather you guys give up the position than just get submitted. You know, I'm just going to be open to changing your position. Even if you are going from a pretty good position to a bad position, it's better to get sub, right? Yeah.
I wonder if like a short arm fireman would work.
I bet you could get it. You just have to be careful with the fireman choke or the fireman's like carry and jiu-jitsu. Sometimes you'll end up in that crucifix.
Well, on the short arm, like if they have you in a front headlock, you just fucking like put your front. You just get this elbow and then trap that leg.
Ah, yeah.
And that's a short arm, and so if you like fail at getting your shot, that's always like almost like a reshot if you're down.
There you go.
Or get the leg.
Oh.
If like I shot, I didn't get it, and we're like stalled right here for a minute, I just trap that leg and throw that shoulder over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I like trying to go for sit-ups, but I don't see, I can't catch it. I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm doing wrong.
From the front headlock position?
Wrestler guys, internal. So
Turtle.
like when
I'm here, my thought process is to put my ass cheek over here,
Yeah.
next to that.
Right.
But
You
I
can try
get
to
caught.
sit there.
You do
So
what?
you can get on mine back. So you're trying to do like sit out this way. You always would sit back, which is like you put your hand on the mat and you just push and see if that makes you move away, and then you switch it immediately.
Okay. And for me, I like what you said where you're pushing yourself back, right?
Yeah,
So
you're
when people
pressuring
come
into
for
the-
You were doing a good job of standing up too, and it was just like, you know, David was
My
stand
knees.
up.
My knees only had so much. When you get to this right here, you switch hips, because you're never on two butt cheeks. If you're on two butt cheeks, you're just gonna get stuck back. So you just sit on one. That way you can use your feet to push back if you need to, and you keep this posted. And if they go for this arm, you just switch cheeks and try to keep this arm posted. And then eventually when they're pushing into you enough, you'll be here, and you just roll up onto your leg, and now you're here. And you can just stand up. Or throw like a head gazoni or an arm gazoni, or head by style.
What are you guys thinking when you do stand up? Let's say they have like a tight waist. Are you just,
Yeah.
is this
Yeah,
your go-to?
I'm pushing out and away,
Uh-huh.
or I'm fucking getting wrist control and I'm grabbing.
I was always taught like you're surfing, so like, so you're on my back. You wanted to get it to one hip, so you get it. So with one hip, like you're surfing. Now they can't pull you backwards because you have this here. If they push you forward, you have this here. And since it's on your hip, you can push your hips out and slide it down your hips instead of having it just here or even here. You want to get like on the side of your leg because you can push out like this, and then you can still hit grampies and stuff in there too. But most of the time, like once you get to that hip room, because they're gonna be extended like this.
Yeah.
I feel like once you stand up, you should be out. It's really easy to spark.
Yeah. Another thing too, you know, when somebody's on your back, and a lot of you guys wrestle, is the whizzer, right? You were saying step around, but you can also do the same thing with this arm.
You want me to like step around again?
Uh-huh.
Have you ever has somebody ever hit this on you? Or do you get here and they just hit this leg?
When I was younger, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was like, people will do this, and
But if he like keeps his hips down and his leg, he should be able to like hold off on that.
yeah.
What I'm kind of thinking when you're doing that is the one that mentioned the wheel where you step over, the right here.
Yeah. Just keep circling around.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking,
So
but I
cool.
don't think I've ever had anybody do that one.
It's kind of like a Hail Mary,
Yeah.
because it works, and then the-
Some people, I mean, they have such a good squeeze that it's like,
Well,
once they get your head or they get your getting on a head and arm, it's over. So there's some people that you probably don't want to put it on. Another thing too, when you guys force hurdle, and you get to like a front headlock position, just get in on singles and doubles, and I mean, you guys will be able to finish here, because I know that we're so worried about our neck, but a lot of times, just like on a single leg, right? Once I get to this leg, my shoulder's hiding most of my neck, right? And then I'm gonna be able to, I mean, I can put people on their back a lot that are better wrestlers than me from that position. Once you get it, it's such a strong position.
Yeah.
Jacob, did you have a technique you wanted to show?
Yeah.